this stadium right now as they feel the tension of the elimination match coming through.
Absolutely.
Polvi, Global Esports, they want to break open the site.
He breaks open with this fight against Durian that completely misses him. Both the contact on Polvi as well as that boombot, interestingly enough. Rest of Global now pushing up into ropes. Oh my god, where did that come from Russ? He just Goomba stomped the head of Durian there. And Global Esports opening Pandora's box, but Egoist has been such a crucial factor right now. The trades and Blaze King using Global Esports. That is that team that I feel like embodies ripping off the Band-Aid, right? Like, oh, you want to take this nice and slow? No! Go in! Just hammer it down onto the side, which they will definitely do. And Benkai and Russ commands authority here on that A site, leaving the rest of Bleed to just scratch their heads, deal with this post plant with just the pistols. If they can maybe get themselves a condensed angle here, that could be something, but Global Esports, they got themselves a pretty sick amount of crossfires too, but not even that could really, you know, stop Blaze King, and he's just gonna pick himself up a 3K, one away from the Thrash.
Dude, Blaze today, this guy has been a bit of a sleeper. I mean, sleeper agent to speak.
Looking to prioritize the contact once again. Very aggressive use on the fault line too. Already gonna push through this. Ah, there's the contact, and Durian, ooh boy, shooting gallery at its finest. Lightning Fast alone. Spike dropped at A main, so two avenues, A main or ramps. Choose your poison.
Either way.
Choose your ladder. Yeah.
Either way, it's yeah.
Round of theirs, because they got something in store for us coming here. As I mentioned, Blaze King does have his Thrash available, exactly that. So he's just using the wingman first, you know, soften things up, get a bit of that contact on Mail, and now start doing things. Yay, he is so close from this contact. He realizes this, but that fault line is perfectly placed to catch him off. Thankfully enough, teammate Egoist does him a solid, I got you, Yay. You're perfectly fine with me.
Pings out the Thrasher orb as well. And the rest of the squad is fully aware of what might happen next, but unfortunately the response not quite as good. Bleed Egoist only able to pick up one.
Where did that TP come from? Or where did that TP go? Lightning Fast on top of the box, gets the trade, 2 versus 3. Russ gonna be planting down the spike. Benkai holding hell here for the moment as Crazy Guy creeps in ever so slowly. Did he see Benkai actually go around the corner? That's gonna be a big one too if you think about it. As Durian not really given any form of contact here for now. There it is. 1-2, dashing right in, but Durian is quick. Not quick, was pure contact. All of the traps from Egoist here was set for any kind of B main contact, but it all got bypassed because of the shot at step from Lightning Fast. So every kind of trap that they placed was very well ignored, thank you, by Global Esports.
Straight up. Now same thing. Get mid control, we get some more options. Ye trying to deny it with a Recon Phantom, trying to spray through, but nothing doing. Crazy Guy though, did he hear?
He probably did, but like, who gets who first? That's the question on that rope contact, if ever there was any rope contact. Polvi straight up marching his way here on B Heaven. He's got a chance to peek this, but he's not going to do that just yet. He just charges through the smoke, and Polvi's, thank you very much. That
I know exactly.
Yeah, okay. Neural Theft to combat that. 1-for-1 trade though. Crazy Guy does find another. But with all of these Neural Theft activations, it could actually be turned ups in their heads, and Russ just backs away as they realize where they are. That's Global Esports running it all the way through the A site, but the counter Neural Theft does give all the information that Bleed needs to know.
Rotation's over. Darian with the rocket.
Aye!
Polvi!
That's why he got picked up, man. He gets those moments, and when you thought the big connection of ability is there to shut you down, he just raw talent, raw firepower. You know, he's the one with the showstopper. That's going to deny some pushes for a good chunk of seconds, which allows the rest of Global Esports to go the other way. They're going to try to clear Heaven. If they're not on Heaven, they're just gonna drop down, help out Polvi here.
So there's always that extra assistance. All Polvi's got to do is to get that information for the team.
Enemy remaining. Last player
Spike's
standing.
still out too. And all Russ has to do is hold, wait, and play. Spots out Scary, who was gonna go for the full defuse.
You got strong players, you got Darien. They ascended from Ascension. And Crazy Guy says in the interview, like, we belong in Pacific. We want to prove that. Now in the elimination match, Global Esports says different.
Of course, there still is opportunity and chances. It's not like we're already at like 12 to 10 or something, but it is somewhat concerning again as how much Global has really garnered in these rounds.
Yeah, I'm just talking about the lead, but Polvi has been impressive. Now back into it again, looking for an execute onto the site, but look at how Bleed has to set up. Yes, it's that eco, so I don't know how much it can really do. But playing around the toxic screens, they got some of these stingers and frenzies.
It's a 5-stack on A, dude.
Yeah. But then also, like, look at Global. They're just ignoring it. Not going to push past main, maybe up ramps. I don't know if they'll go through screens.
Oh, I think they realize it too. I mean, even if they don't realize it, they have options to go elsewhere. And since they did leave Blaze King here on mid, they can always have an opportunity to pinch coming into that mid side. And now they're like, something's up.
Precisely. Nothing seen so far. Paranoid just for extra security. Now the site is completely clear.
What a read.
Stick the plant, why not? How can Bleed do damage on the
10 seconds
retake?
left. Spike planted.
I mean, there's still 5 people, so
Look
if they catch someone holding an off-angle position here, can take
There.
away a weapon, or, you know, we can just wait till the very last second, try to get some exit frags, and die to the spike. So I'm assuming they're gonna go for the latter.
Oh man, then it's like both sides saving fully because Global Esports can run out mid, they can run out garage. Bleed just dies to the spike.
Probably that, right?
What an eventful round.
I mean, fair. You don't want to give any extra kills to
Yeah.
global players that have been heating up,
All
especially Blaze
points.
King, right?
You don't want to give him another
Yeah.
Thresher.
Exactly.
Russ sitting on the Rolling Thunder too. What's your dying sound? Voice
okay.
actor Aster Echo.
In that Sunset map, but is it going to solid enough here on Split where he doesn't really have that much line of sight? Polvi, the double satchel catches Crazy Guy. This makes it significantly harder for Dorian to really get that contact, but it doesn't matter. He still shuts down Polvi.
Good
Thank you
shot
very much.
with the off. Can't really cross back now, and the intentions are kind of sussed out as well. Why else would Polvi be trying to run back down ramp? So that's why the rotations are coming over from Bleed. They're getting a good read on things. And as long as Scary gets the right amount of contact, as long as Benkai doesn't find too much on the A site, Bleed should be able to pick up this round. Of course, it's still really early on, though. Scary backs off, Darren back in his place. Global Esports might be able to, go out along with a Dizzy push.
And they do have the Rolling Thunder, right? So,
I don't know. Like, it makes sense, but
yeah, you don't want to use it willy-nilly, right? So you're
Yeah.
going to look for contact elsewhere. Benkai has always been that person that likes to do this, but, timing is good, actually.
Whoa.
Is that going
30 seconds
question
left.
is that going to gravitate the rotation from Bleed and allow Global to actually start pushing into the ace to the B site?
oh, it does. And the Rolling Thunder. You're right, Asterai. Even though it's not maximum effect, it does do enough to push Darien away. But Scary from the top of heaven comes back in.
That nade is very far off from
Spike
Russ.
planted.
Durian might not even know that Lightning Fast is around the corner. Okay, as the dust settles, it's 3 versus 2. Durian is only aware of the positioning of Russ here, not Lightning Fast, who is inside this smoke. It's going to be the double contact. There it is. It's all going to be up and down to how quickly he can actually get that transfer, which is not really too
One
hot.
enemy
That
remaining.
paranoia does nothing against Russ. It's a 1 versus 1. Scary's been a clutch master, but Russ can do something extraordinary.
L. Scary, you would have thought that he's the guy to clutch things out, but it's such a one-on-one, a little bit off-put, a little bit off-timed, feels uncomfortable. Despite being blinded, Russ still lands the shot. And it's just such a good call to make that rotation through. Benkai even actually getting a frag onto Ye. What is happening?
It's the calls, man. It's the smart use of utility too, because there would be a world where he didn't get the A push and they could still do that B play straight up. But yeah, the woe was very much granted as Russ is down. The hero of that last round down to 15 here.
Always playing around the rhythm and timing of things, right? In previous rounds, we had Polvi just diving right straight on A ramps. This time around, they're going along with a team, and Bleed kind of playing along with that, trying to get a feel for this dance, and this time getting a better grasp of it. Benkai still, though, however, lurking all around. The rest of that global squad
Tripwire destroyed.
looking to make something happen towards B. They got the utility for it. As long as they can block off Heaven.
Quick little TPs there from, oh, that's a big flash. Egoist, does he go against it? The push out, and it's just too clean for Global. No sweat in that one. I like how, again, Lightning Fast is using himself as a human recon dart where he just keeps TPing in positions for his teammates to feed off of, but Benkai also solid on these lurks, and Bleed left to really just scratch their heads. Ouch. Yay, down to 1.
No.
El Diablo is down to El Uno.
No way you like clutch this at 1 HP.
No, of course not. I mean, that's crazy, guy.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
But absolutely right. I mean,
Stab, 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 stab. Ah. Ye was looking.
secure the round win, why not?
Yeah.
But, you know, you gotta definitely... Global Esports are having a great time.
And I don't know what the retaliation would be for Bleed here. They're creating plays, sure enough, but Global's just, yeah, we'll just play our own game, keep pushing forward. We still have Polvi, who's been so good at these contact plays, and there it is once again. Durian, okay, there we go. He's getting the impact play. Neural Theft slows it down a little bit further. Blaze King now calling the rotation. Hold on, Lightning Fast. He's got himself that from the shadow, so he can pick it up, the spike. But there is a world where they might break him and not. No, he picks it up. It's pretty easy for him. Anyways, hold Heaven. They must. Plan it for Heaven, plan it for Open, and it's a 3 versus 3 on this retake.
Still do have Egoist up around screens, though. Trying to make their way through. But what it comes down to is how well they can really break apart this Heaven hold. Darian out through. Ooh, punches him.
Yeah, Egos was waiting for a better angle there if he can. Benkai through the smoke as well. Lightning Fast coming here too. Paranoia coming out, but does not dissuade Scary, and Egoist is not in a good spot, but he doesn't need to be. Excuse me. Egoist with the ego peaks, the ego kills. And he saves it once again for Bleed.
He kind of made use of the pressure from the spiked half to start things out slow, but they never quite back down that easy.
Bro painted a picture on that A window, man. It was a great picture. It was a picture of them winning that round.
Picture of two bodies on the ground.
Oh, yeah. Durian so close to... Oh! He's hiding in the corner. He's been spotted, and that's going to be him down and dusted. Yay, holding the angle here. Pushes out with the snake bite, but gets caught in the collateral of things, even hiding inside the smoke. Seeker's been activated here by the defenders, but it's so early that the Seekers won't really threaten the control and rotation capabilities of Global Esports. Egoist now coming in through B Heaven. He's been such a stalwart of Vanguard. But these tags, man, he's been put in a position where he has to do so much, and he might not be able to do anything at all.
Yeah, great ways to check, too, from the likes of
Smokes
Russ.
down. Only good for one, though.
Still good reactions nonetheless, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Global Esports having the numbers now, they get to push in, they got the site. It's just a near impossible retake. The rest of the lead members aren't even really moving. So, seems like it's going to be a save.
Yeah.
It just came down to a bit of guesswork. Unfortunately for Bleed, doesn't quite work out. Global Esports, on the other hand, again, You think about how they take down this mid. It's worked out so great.
And I think you gotta put into perspective, I think how slow Ye has been to assist his teammates, right? Because whenever he's on a non-duelist, it just feels like he's just a step behind. Like I was wondering why Durian was holding for such a long time onto Mail, and then you see a few seconds later that Ye's there. So it's at some point you're thinking, was Durian supposed to get
it? Now, if as long as you crack the code, you got the right executes. Definitely could come up with more rounds, but definitely doesn't feel good. When your coach is just not even like happy with you.
Oh yeah.
So you would want to have like more faith, more spirits up. Darren with the showstopper, definitely a possible turnaround.
Yeah, Scary's on that first contact too, so Darion wants to get up close and personal. When Scary gets that whiff of anyone trying to get this B main control, he might even use the showstopper, but it's not even needed as he gets that double spray down beautifully executed. They're gonna push him up, and Pulvy just pulverizes the opposition. Scary holds on, gets the 3K, pushes back Blaze King. No more flashes for him. Does have a wingman. Can use it to push forward, but he waits patiently as Benkai comes in with the double up, and Ye's right here in the corner, helping out Scary with this Judge 2 in hand. Wow. Oh, that was a risk. That was a risk! He didn't even second guess if he should break the wingman. He just tanked it everything and hoped that his Judge would be good enough in that close quarters. And this might all be just all for naught. The tag as well and Crazy Guy, he disabled for a couple of seconds, and they've allowed Global to plant the spike in a very safe manner. And we're not even just yet. Sorry, excuse me. Crazy Guy's pushing up. And what just happened, Quack?
Just Global Esports feeling that confidence today. I mean, of course, Egoist with nothing but a classic. We're expecting him to clutch back up. He did it before. Knows exactly where Ben is.
Oh my god! 4 bullets! A classic to start things in a 2 versus 1. Gets the kill. Has to use the North F, sure.
But they were just so confident how they pushed out. Ace King and the rest of them, yes, Ye had the Judge that was at wingman play, but they were just so confident how they pushed out. You can feel that confidence again.
Wow. Okay, Scary's just out of there. I do not want to deal with this. This is not up to my pay grade, at least for now. Whoa, my goodness. Okay, I am overreacting way too much, I know, but Pulvy is creating openings when there's so little visual stimuli for this man.
I say, like, fair enough. The round just started. He just got right in, and the spike's already planted.
Scout destroyed.
Bleed have got their work cut out for them. The peek out does allow Durian to get the trade quickly against Lightning Fast, and Durian just running it down. They're hoping that they can get these contacts. Russ, if he can get a kill, maybe he can rip out an ultimate for himself. One around the corner is going to be Blaze King, but do they know, coming up from heaven is Benkai. Defuse on the spike, but Crazy Guy holds his teammate's hand, and Bleed somehow manages to squeeze one more round in before we end a half.
The calls to push out on the defense. Bleed, they have to be ready. Look at mid.
What a stack here. You mentioned on mid too. Any push outs on Rafters. Paranoia will be soon to follow, but did Durian get get hit at all? Excuse me for the loss of words. The reposition so that the aftershock does not engulf him. Nade is available, throws it out in the corner, and that is a great separation of utility here for Bleed. You see Global trying to push through, and they get separated again because of the snake bite, again because of that paint shells, but trades come in aplenty. We've equalized the numbers. There's going to be the plant on the spike here for Bleed, but Global have heaven and screen control, but Durian is putting the effort, is putting this game into his own hands. He's already gotten 3K. If he can do more, maybe even an ace.
Oh, that cam says everything.
He has another nade.
Darius in a prime position to pick this up. Gets further info, just sees one, right? So he knows where the other is.
I mean, They're taking a very long time to get close into things. Blaze King can get the trade on Egoist, but it's only as good as that. Bleed get their first round.
That flash just doesn't quite cover what you need it to sometimes, or the timing of it as your opponents move out. It's a
That's
little
a
bit
big nade.
unfortunate.
Does get the trade on Yay. This is just again a pistol here for Global too. If they push up, Russ has a stun, so maybe that's gonna be something to utilize right now, which it actually is working out fairly well for Global Esports. They've got the numbers advantage already. They're already looking right behind him because they are aware that Blaze King can pick up a weapon, which he already has, and they're not even looking at this. Bleed are so lost.
Remaining.
The Thrifty is so solid for the South Asian team. But now it's all left again in the hands of Egoist, and he doesn't even have the spike in his inventory. Womp womp.
Still, though, want to be careful about it. You got two classics. Can't lose any advantage that you have. Round's not over.
Oh my gosh, he even get the 180, but Benkai's just too quick. Yeah, man. I just love the laid-back nature of the Global players. Blaze King chillin', you know. Where's that nade coming from?
Very cheerful guy, but right now Nade just going in for a bit of that garage control. Picks up the orb. Polvi denying these ultimates away from Darien. If you want to like go back around ramp to pick that one up, probably, maybe not so much.
Yeah, you can even see like there's a double stack from Global here. If they actually go through A main and they just pop shots directly where the spike or the orb is, right?
Yeah.
Global Esports is hard reading this. Smoke placed right in front of them.
And right, like good enough damage from like both Blaze King from the last round that
Yeah.
now economy is a bit of an issue for Bleed. So the executes have to be very, very careful, but at the same time, because Global Esports are recognizing this, they're being careful themselves. They want to secure this round.
They might just try to go straight for that B site. The wall's been dropped down already. Lightning Fast has put up his smoke 3 times on B main. And Bleed's is counting, maybe this is a blessing for them.
Right through now.
Seconds left.
Oh,
I mean, it's not a wall, dude.
great timing on the spam.
He can shoot through the smoke. He has a teammate right beside him that can help him out. And Lightning Fast, like a viper, coiled he strikes. Egoist does get the rush down. 12 seconds. Can he plant the spike? Scary put in such an unfavorable spot.
Oh, Russ.
Yes, just go in and plant it. And he can.
Player. That's enough damage.
Bleed have already used up all of their timeouts, so there's no more breathing space.
It comes down to Crazy Guy. Like, can you really read your opponents well enough without your coach, and can you call the entire team to adapt well enough to this? Of course, they are attacking, so it's not the easiest feat. Darren does have a showstopper, but this round, not the one that you really want to commit unless you pick up more. Egoist. Benkai being careful.
Yeah, doesn't want to overstep his bounds as he's the only one holding that A side for him by himself for the moment. Durion is just quickly charging in, finds Benkai, uses the nade to delay things a bit further. Does he pick up the weapon? That's the question.
Yeah, I think he does.
He does. And gets
Pass
out.
it on over.
And gets out without being traded too, which is perfect. Like you mentioned, passes it on over.
There.
That was a huge, huge pickup right now for Bleed. Alert coming again from none other than the man himself, Egoist. Paranoia has been thrown out. Here's the bombardment from the rest of Global. Lightning Fast gets one. Blaze King comes into the corner here. There's too much for him to handle, but he is
Thrifty.
perfectly juggling the aggression up until the point. Ye gets him. Bleed still far from a favorable position.
And a great thrifty round at the very least. It's not over yet.
Oh, wow. There is a world where Durion can get a pick on Polvi, and that world is now. That world is here. We're living in that multiverse, ladies and gentlemen. Durion does not come into the fight here. Lightning Fast is into the corner, but a quick flick and a quick shot does get that one-for-one trade. Blaze King now just frantically shooting through B main here, as Bleed have gotten themselves that numbers advantage. Don't really need to over push right now, Quack. They still have Egoist holding the lurk once again on A main. He can start calling in his teammates all the way around here. They're not really afraid of that mid call. Actually, no, there is a ping there. But once they start clearing it up, they should be feeling a lot more confident to start pushing it onto A, which, lo and behold, does not have any Cypher traps.
Precisely the rotations that Bleed needs. Gives them the A site. However, take a look at what Global Esports has in their inventory. I feel like this Thrasher that Blaze King has, along with the Wingman, not to mention Russ's full kit, might be useful for a retake. So as soon as they confirm that the site hit goes towards A, now just setting up for it, Russ needing to kind of stay alive or at least pick up a frag, but unfortunately does not go his way. 2-on-4 now, nah.
Yeah.
I think you gotta say.
Just looking at the creds for Global Esports, don't really have anything to buy back into that next round, so Bleed Esports live to fight for another day. And the formula from what it looks like, Quack, is two things. Egoist staying alive to threaten the lurk, and Durian just having to get good and beat out Polvi's game.
Having to get good and beat up.
It's literally just that.
True.
Polvi
He did do that in this round.
Yeah, exactly, right? Polvi's been such a thorn on mission all the way downtown on screens. There's a setup thrash here from Blaze King, and if Bleed overreach, Polvi is waiting for the Kumbayas, the boom boom pows. He pushes right up, but Durian gets two.
Oh.
There's going to be the aftershock right now from Russ. And even though this is a weaker buy for Global Esports, the trades are even, and Bleed still are very much aware of the big ultimate looming at the A site if again, Polvi's still holding in that position.
It's got to be Polvi though, right? Yeah, and then at the very least, I guess maybe Bleed just wanting to bypass all of that. Transitions over to the B site. It does give the rest of Global a little bit more time and space to pick up some of these rifles. And then we'll have a different round. Oh, this is...
Ooh, that smoke telegraphs something though. It's a B heaven that covers a lot of things.
Oh.
I wonder what the call for Bleed is. Honestly, pushing all the way through spawn stairs wouldn't be too bad right about now, because if they can find where Benkai is hunkered at, they wouldn't have to deal with all these pesky tripwires that is set up everywhere.
Oh, Ben.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, but they probably won't. Crazy Guy's one off from his Seekers as well here. Benkai's holding on.
Stay alive. Got the showstopper in.
Ooh.
Got some rifles now we can play in this round. We don't have armor, but sure enough, it's a better fight than, you know, as to go with the classics.
Look at how far everyone from Bleed is placed at. Scary's just done.
Oh, great camera from
Last
Benkai.
player standing.
That's hard. Polvi's by himself at this point. Plant Spike actually out in the open. This works in their favor. Now Polvi's been spotted. If you can just jiggle a little bit more for Crazy Guy to get that bit of information.
Wow.
It's
Time,
not even
though.
diffused at all, yeah. So he has to back away. Gets the quick little punish. And Bleed Esports.
Ultimate still able to keep themselves in the lead. Polvi back to the sudden rhythm game where we push out.
Too much rhythm. If we're looking at how he just re-peaked that. Trade for trade though, both of the raises down and dusted. And this gives a chance right here for Bleed to rotate and at least not be afraid anymore of, you know, the operator that is available here for Polvi. I do hear the Thrash being used, so that's probably to get a lot more information here on A, see if Heaven's being controlled or whatever, and it is not. So Benkai, be ready.
Definitely here's the Trailblazer at the very least, trying to make use of his one way. He's got a second. Oh no.
He doesn't have a second chance to actually use it.
I was thinking about it.
Yep.
But what a great spray. Like, of course the Cypher would be on the other side.
Of course. Here we go. Second time to do another thing with the Thrash. Look at how far back Ye is actually playing. He's been pushed back hard by this Thrash though. Wingman used actually on Mail, and Ye has got himself the perfect timing on this lurk. He's been spotted already, but him gravitating this attention definitely secures the round here for Bleed.
So interesting. Ye the lurker now. And Bleed having the economy to go for this hunt.
I will become what you want me to be, or what you need me to be.
That's what a flex player does.
Yeah. He's like the Batman of Bleed right now. I never thanked you, and you'll never have to.
Without the numbers, it's that much easier for Bleed to break through. So Russ now, fault line connects, but doesn't really do all too much. It's a bit of information at best.
Darion's one ult charge away from getting his ultimate. Russ, does he want to challenge this? Does he want to punish this? He will. And no picks will be garnered. Darion's just charging it in. That's gonna get punished. Lightning Fast comes back into cover, and Bleed somehow should be at least bombarded and wiped out, but they're holding on. Benkai gets the 3K though, and the man himself is creating opportunities, is creating moments for Global Esports and for himself. 9-11, and Global strike back.
Great response coming in from Global Esports. I guess that's what the timeout was for. You know, Bleed trying to adapt to the rhythm of it, trying to get a sensing for how this is played. They knew that Russ had the Rolling Thunder. Of course it was sensed out. But at the same time, I think Darian just kind of thought that like he would be able to punish Russ that quickly, that easily. Thought wrong. Lightning Fast was around the side. Benkai arriving on the scene on time too. Picking up the quick double, and then Ye turns the entire round around on its head.
I just love how that's the reaction for Global here, right? One mistake, one slip up is all it takes for you to really get punished by it. Crazy Guy is nursing an operator right now on attack. Darion spots it. He gets one. That wall saves him. And Russ trying to get any form of contact, any form of trade, gets denied, and himself in the process as well. Benkai gets a couple of kills, but he can't do what he did in that last round, leaving Polvi in a 1 versus 4 with an operator in hand. You know it's not going to happen, so he just backs away smartly. Take the 10-11 already. Global still has a lot more plays to do, and just use this time to talk about it once more.
Yeah, why not? But as it comes down to it, this match down to a knife's edge, Bleed slowly clawing their way back in. This still could become Bleed's game. This still could be an elimination match for either of these teams. Bleed showing that they definitely still have what it takes. Darren with the showstopper, able to be the catalyst for the team as he dives through.
I love how you mentioned that, because these two, they know how important kickoff is. Right?
Masters Madrid.
Masters Madrid, and I mean, anyone who wins kickoff
gets back. So Crazy Guy's actually doing so much right now. Of course, back into it, Darian and Egoist. You can feel their impact in the server as they pick up more frags. Off to the next round, though, without the ultimates, can't go in just as fast. Taking a bit of a breather. Yeah, I think they're just trying to find some kind of a path, some kind of a route into the site.
And the route could be A. They're leaving Egoist to play on that A main. But I mean, there's still so many pathings, right? As long as you can get that mid, you can obviously transition to B main, mail into A heaven. But they gotta make something happen now. I think they're using up a couple more extra seconds just to see if there's any over pushing.
Yeah, check
from
B.
From Global Esports.
If there's something around this area of heaven, yeah, then they might be able to play around. So both lurks actually very important that they stay alive, whether it's Egoist or Ye.
Okay, the biggest person that needs to stay alive from Bleed here has got to be Scary. Because first things first, they've dropped the spike, and they need to pick it up somewhat. Okay, they're still beaming control right now. Durion's coming into the corner here. Blaze King is right in front of him. Trigger Discipline could provide some dividends, which it does. And Blaze King is holding on. This is going really, really bad for Bleed as they get unraveled. They took too long. And again, Spike's gonna have to be brought into that A site. But everybody's taking corners, checking angles, and it's all down once again to Egoist. This time, he's by himself. Right in front of him is Polvi, and Polvi jettisons Global into series, into map point.
Like that pressure is mounting up on their shoulders again. They had so much, but then towards the end, just one guy was the difference.
It's just that one misstep, that one not checking of a corner, and everything just goes down the drain, right? I mean, you're talking about it. We're looking at it. Durian,
This
is
could
he,
be it.
is he just going to push this? This could actually just be them losing their lives, but he somehow manages to find Benkai. They destroy the tripwires here, and Bleed strike back.
Okay.
It's not yet over. It's a 4 versus 3, sure, but you can never count out Global Esports, so Bleed has still got to grind the 2 rounds into overtime for them to even have a chance.
They've taken out Blaze King. Up next is going to be Polvi, looking to dive straight onto site, perhaps from heaven, but denied by Darien.
One enemy remaining.
There's one more. That's going to be Russ. IGL, captain, my captain. Can you lead me into the promised land? Let's drop down on Hell here. They know where he is. The reposition, but he's good for the first. Could be good for the second. Crazy guy. If he overheats, that's an opportunity for Russ to get into the site. But of course, cooler heads wins heated moments. 11 to 12. This is where it goes down. Quack. One more round, overtime or done time. I don't know.
We'll just have to wait and see, but at the very least, for this round, the way that Bleed's playing this, going for that full sight, full force execute, delaying and off-timing some of these flashes, right? First the Paranoia, then Crazy Guy's Guiding Light. Just kind of throws Benkai off, and it gives them so much more space on the site. Can they do the same thing again? This time, not really smoking things off. It's just Ben with the Cyber Cage up, Blaze King trying to go back in.
Tripwire not found. That could be Durian's life already done, which somehow, miraculously, it doesn't. Polvi gets immediately traded in the back of the site. Benkai's still here. Pushes up. He converts, and Benkai is the hero, leaving it all down to Scary 3 versus 1. Neural Theft activated. Oh, this is going horribly wrong for Bleed. And Scary, he's done miraculous things during Ascension Pacific. Can he do it now? Global Esports close to eliminating their opponent. Scary's giving away his location here. He's got a shot at step.
It is Scary.
10 seconds for the smoke too. Paranoia. There's the swing out, and Benkai for the 4K.